Hi, welcome to my channel. If you're here for the first time, welcome back if you've been following. So we have something special planned, okay? I am reading Moby-Dick by Herman Melville, but I want this to be my first ever vlog, right? So you get to see snapshots of me reading and then kind of my thoughts while I'm reading, but then we'll do like a summary of the book. And then of course, you know, we have to have a theme song just because what's the point of doing one of these without a theme song? So bear with me. This could be very bad. I'm going to try to edit this myself. So hopefully you enjoy it. Bear with me for my first vlog and I hope you enjoy it. Hello. So if you're seeing this, you all already know that Ian and I are reading Moby-Dick together. I'm sorry. I meant to actually film myself reading, which I'm going to right now. I'm going to film myself for a little bit, just sitting here reading. I meant to do it from the very beginning. Maybe not the whole book, but I'm already to chapter 13. So you have missed a little bit. So far so good. He hasn't got on the boat yet, so it's just describing getting to the inn and meeting people, and then I think they're about ready to go on the boat. So my thoughts up to this point. Herman Melville is very descriptive, which I think is a good and bad thing, right? It's not just that he's descriptive either. I think it's because of the language he's using. I don't know. I feel like I've never read a book that's this descriptive, where you're really because if you guys don't know me, right? So when I'm reading, a lot of people will see the book in their head. I don't do that. But this book I have actually been able to. I think it's just because the words that he's using and the way he describes it, I can see it in my head. I can see the inn and the room he's in and the alleyway. But I think it's also, sometimes you're just okay, maybe pick and choose a little more what you're describing. I get, it's a good thing because you feel like you're part of the story, but sometimes you're okay, maybe this exact detail didn't need to be described. Which I can see now why it's, let's see how many, almost 800 pages this book is now, because he takes a lot of time to describe everything. I kind of want to save my thoughts on some of the aspects until Ian and I are filming, but I was surprised at some of the controversial topics that were in here, because this book was made, I don't even know when it was made. Let's look. 1851 was when it was first published. So for 1851, an author, I was surprised at some of the topics. At least one. Like I said, I don't want to spoil it. I want to save it for talking to Ian about some of these. But so far, I'm actually really enjoying it. Everyone told me good luck. So I think, which is probably a good thing, because I went into it oh, I'm not going to enjoy this book. So my bar was really low. But I've actually enjoyed it because he does use a lot of words. And sometimes I'm okay, I don't understand that word. But I still feel even though he's using these crazy words, you can still get the gist of it, and I'm following along pretty good. This is definitely not a book where you can get distracted. I find myself having to reread sometimes because I'm squirrel. Oh, wait, I don't understand that because I wasn't focused. So I feel it's not so hard that you can't understand, but I feel this is also a book that you do kind of have to stay focused on. So yeah. Now, I'm just going to film myself reading for a while. And this is the first time I've done this, so bear with me. You might just see me sitting here and I'll forget, but I'll try to share the thoughts that are coming to my head as I'm reading them. So join with me for a little bit as we read Moby. Captain misjudged him. He had to, Captain begged his pardon. And I quote. So that's pretty cool. Don't judge people. I said that was a funny name. Okay, I might be pronouncing it wrong, but Hosea Hussey. Sorry, I just thought that was funny. So we're to the ship, and Ishmael is wanting to talk to Captain Ahab, and this guy is describing whaling, and it's kind of gross. I mean, good for them, I guess. Somebody's got to do it, but oof, I would not want to do that. Thought you just. I was expecting it to be kind of like hunting, where you just shoot the animal and be done with it, but I think according to this it's gonna be a little more than that, so we'll see. Oh. Hello. We're still reading Moby-Dick. I'm now on chapter 49. So far, so good. I mean, there are a couple of chapters where I'm like, why is this in here? Like, bruh spends like a whole chapter on all the different kinds of whales, which, I mean, it's not that I hate it, but you're just like, why? They're finally on the ship. And they are in full pursuit of Moby-Dick. And he just knocked over a boat. So, that's kind of where we're at. I mean, yeah. That's kind of where we're at, because he spends like a chapter describing each of the, like the first mate, second mate. I don't exactly understand how all that works, but he spent, some chapters talking about that. And then you get a chapter on Ahab's story with Moby-Dick. So yeah, that's kind of why we're at where we're at. So, have fun reading with me. We're on chapter 49, The Hyena. So that'll be interesting to see. See, he's actually pretty fun. Like, without emotion, though so through just like me. He gave me to understand that such things did often happen. You're just like, bro. I honestly was not expecting how funny he would be. There, I found myself. See you next time. Hi. So I don't even know where we were last time. But as you know, we're reading Moby. Oh, can you even come on? Guys, it's not big. Come on. Let me see. There we go. Moby-Dick. We're now on chapter 68. Guys, can I just rant for a minute? I don't want to give all my thoughts because Ian and I are gonna have a big discussion at the end. But some of the chapters, come on, bro. He spends like a whole chapter on whale paintings. Yes, that's right. Whale paintings. And telling you which are the most accurate. There's also a chapter on whale books and which ones are the best to read. There's a chapter on whale skin and the difference between the blubber and the skin. Why? Just why? Like, don't misunderstand. I'm actually enjoying this book more than I thought, and I know I said that in the video, because he's actually quite funny. But some chapters are just like, bro, you could have made this book like 500-600 pages instead of the. Let's just look how long this. Should we see? I don't even. Oh shoot. Never mind. It's like, well, okay, there's the appendix. But without the appendix and just the epilogue, this book is like 625 pages. You could have, like, cut that down by a lot. Like, I'm just curious if this guy, if he was, like, fascinated with whales or something. Because I feel like only people who are fascinated with an animal want to describe it this much. Like, I'm here for the story, not to know which whale paintings best represent a whale. Although, I mean, I guess I'm learning a lot more than I did. But anyway, I just had to rant. Which is why this is... I can't even... Ian and I will probably talk about this at the end, but we can't even tell you how long this is taking, because the chapters like that, this is a book that takes quite a time, because you're just like, it's going to be 5 more chapters on whale paintings. But anyway, so I just have to rant, because there's sometimes it's a really good book, but sometimes you just want to pull your hair out because you're like, why is this in this book? Anyway, back to it, because we got about, woo, that much more to go. Hey, so we're on chapter 68, the blanket. Oh, sorry, can't see me, can you? There we go. Like, he's just so, this is a chapter on the blubber, and he's like describing it as soft as satin. He's like, do you even know what satin feels like? I mean, I guess people have. I mean, I don't even know the last time I touched satin, so anyway, we'll keep going. Sorry. Oh, my bad. Apparently it's not the blubber, then the skin. The blubber is the skin? Oh, the blubber's where they get the oil. Okay, this is kind of just turned fascinating, actually. Now that part was useful. Oh. Although they talk about that. Oh, sorry, y'all can't even see me. I'm sorry. Sorry. Should actually get a stand. Let me be just right back. Let me just get this right here. There we go. Now to stand up. Okay. Anyway. So we've been talking about this a lot in this book. About this whale oil. And I'm like, why do they even use whale oil? Like, is this something they still do now? I'm guessing not. Like, maybe laws changed and now, like, you can't go hunt whales. But, like, if a whale ends up just randomly dead on a beach for natural causes, do they, like, use it for the oil? You just... No, I'm gonna get back to you. Because I might Google that to see. And if you know, please comment. Like, if you know why they use whale oil, because I've never heard of it. Like, oils, yes, but is it whale oil that they're using? I mean, maybe it is. I've heard of, like, olive oil to cook. But when was the last time you heard of someone talking about using whale oil for anything? Anyway, just curiosity has got the better of me. Anyway, you see what I'm saying? Haven't even got the one page yet. Okay. Hold up. Whales have lungs? Did any of you know this? Because I did not. How do they breathe? Okay, maybe I'm just ignorant. But how do they breathe if they have lungs like us? And apparently they're warm-blooded. So if you freeze their blood, they die. What? This is interesting. See, this is interesting. I don't even know about which whale paintings are accurate, okay? Or which whale books are the best. I don't. Anyway. Okay, see, now it just got, he's comparing whales and which one has the warmer blood. Well, I guess not all the whales, but a couple whales. You're like, really? I don't need to know which whale has the warmest blood. Fascinating and disgusting at the same time. Also, why do I need to know this? I mean, am I ever gonna chop a whale's head off? I don't think so. Okay. Well, Queequeg almost got eaten by sharks. Anyway, that's what you miss. So I think I'll end this for now. And I'll see you next time. I mean, look, we still have that much to go. So stay tuned for more updates on Moby-Dick. Okay, thank you for following me as I've been reading Moby-Dick. Sorry, the lighting is horrible here, but it says Moby-Dick. Anyway, those of you who don't know, this is a story about a whale named Moby-Dick. I guess it's more than that. It's basically about these people who are whalers. It's more regulated now, but it used to be very popular to go, get whales for their oil. So this is kind of a story of, I'm going to pronounce this name wrong, but the Picard is the name of the ship. I am forgetting. Guys, there's so much a part of this book. So names might be Piquode. I was close. Is the name of the ship. So basically the story follows their crew and their adventures hunting Moby-Dick. Because Captain Ahab has lost a leg to this whale and wants vengeance. So, let me change the angle, that way you guys can see better. So my thoughts, that's kind of a summary of it. My thoughts. I think I would give this book a 3.5. First, I really enjoyed his descriptiveness, and I think I might have mentioned that in one of the videos of me filming. I have a hard time. Apparently, I didn't know this, but when people read, they either see it in their head or they don't. And so this book has been the easiest for me to see in my head. Normally I don't, but he's so descriptive. Like, he makes sure you get all the details. Sometimes overly so. And you're like, okay, we didn't need quite that much on that. But I also liked that the chapters were shorter. Like, let's see. Of course, I find. So, like, 1, 2, 3 pages. And that's like the chapters. So, I did appreciate the shorter chapters, even though there's 135 of them. It made you feel like you were going through the book faster. This book was definitely more surprising. I know I mentioned this in my videos, but I went in like, oh, I'm not going to enjoy this book. And so it was surprising that I enjoyed it more than I thought I would. One of the characters, and I do spoilers. I should mention that as we are doing this now. One of the characters was a cannibal and a pagan and like prayed to this little statue thing, which I thought was interesting because this book was published in 1850, and I just would have thought that was taboo. Just things that you didn't talk about. Like, you saw it and you were like, you just didn't talk about it. But he talked about it, which I kind of enjoyed. It was interesting and unexpected. It's a 3.5 because I did feel like this book was longer than necessary. Okay, spoilers. Like, there is a chapter on all the different kinds of whales. There's a chapter, maybe even 2, on whale paintings. There's a chapter on all the whale books you should read. At one point, they have 2 fish heads on the boat, and so he talks about the difference between the heads, which, I don't know. There was just some chapters like that I'm like, okay, you might have been able to shorten this if you didn't talk about all those things. But I kind of like that too, though, because you were learning as you went. And I kind of like books where you learn something new. I found myself like, okay, this is kind of pointless, this story, but fascinating. Okay, except the whale painting. Why do I need to know which whale paintings are most accurate? It's fine. But some of them I found myself saying, oh, that's fascinating. Like, you all might know this, but you learn that whales have lungs. And I was like, what? And you're probably like, Chelsea, everyone knows that. I did not. So, you learned something new. My other thought on this was, it's called Moby-Dick, but there's not a lot of Moby-Dick. If it's called Moby-Dick, I don't know. Like, the last 3 chapters are called, like, the Chase Day 1, Chase Day 2, Chase Day 3. So you get a lot of them there. And then some people telling stories. But there's just not a lot of Moby-Dick. And I guess if it's called that, I would have liked to see more. Otherwise, I should have called it something like Captain Ahab's Pursuit or something like that. Anyway, I would also say that this is definitely not a book that can be read quickly. I think I mentioned this in my vlogs, but if you are distracted while reading this, trying to do multiple things, there's a couple times I had to go back and reread something because I was like, wait, I thought this happened and it didn't. And there's some words that were unfamiliar. So this is not a book that could be read quickly, and it kind of needs your attention. But that being said, I I actually do recommend reading this book. It was interesting. Trying to think if there's anything more. If you love whales, you will love this book. And I find myself like wanting to know more about whales now. And maybe that was the point. So it was a good book. So yeah, 3.5. Those are my thoughts on it. Thank you for listening to this full-size blog. The last thing we are going to do is do a theme song. So let's get to that. So as you know, we're not going to do the actual version because we run into copyright issues. But for the theme song, we are going to be jamming out to Brandy, You're a Fine Girl by Looking Glass. I mean, come on. So, jam out with me. There's a port on the western bay, and it serves 100 ships a day. Lonely sailors pass the time away and talk about their home. And there's a girl in this harbor town, and she works laying whiskey down. They say, Brandy, that's another round. She serves them whiskey and wine. The sailors say, Brandy, you're a fine girl. What a good wife you would be. Your eyes could steal a sailor from the sea. Brandy wears a braided chain made of the finest silver from the north of Spain, but a locket that bears the name of a man that Brandy loved. He came on a summer's day bringing gifts from far away, but he made it clear that he couldn't stay. No harbor was his home. The sailor said, Brandy, you're a fine girl. What a good wife you would be. But my life, my love, my lady is the sea. Brandy used to watch his eyes when he told his sailor story. She could feel the ocean fall of life. She saw his raggedy old, but he had always told the truth. But he was an honest man, and Brandy does her best to understand. At night, when the bars close down, Brandy walks through a silent town, and knows the man who's not around. She still can't hear him say. She hears him say, Brandy, you're a fine girl. What a good wife you would be. But my life, my love, my lady is the sea. Yeah, say. She said, Brandy, you're a fine girl. What a good wife you would be. But my life, my love, my lady is the sea. Thank you for watching with me. Moby-Dick was actually pretty fun to read. I would recommend it. 3 out of 5. So, thank you for sticking with me through my first ever vlog. Hopefully we can do more of these. But if you like what you see, give it a big thumbs up. Please subscribe because why not? You know you want to. Share this video with others. And again, comment your thoughts on Moby-Dick, your choice of a theme song, because maybe you know a better one. Okay? In other books that are similar, you're like, oh, if you like this, you would like this. Okay? You know, as book readers, we're always looking for more books to read. So, thank you, and see you next time.